Long time no see. As you can see, I've grown a bit of a beard here. Living in the winter here in Hungary. It's currently snowing outside. It's completely white outside. It's pretty magical. It's nice after spending a lot of time in hot countries and spending some time in a really cold, kind of cozy winter here in Eastern Europe. It's lovely. So today I'm going to tell you a bit about upcoming plans and also show you my gear. I've got a bunch of technology in front of me on my desk here, and I'm going to show you, just the basics of what I use. Just the main pieces. I'm not going to go into extreme detail, but I'll show you the most important pieces at least. And then after I show you this gear, I'll give you a bit of an update of what's coming. I do have a really exciting video that I'm super excited to share with you guys. But let me show you the gear first and we'll get onto that. So let's start with the most important piece. So here is my little setup here. Sony a7 III. It's got a G Master 24-105 lens on it. This lens is new. I've been using this camera for quite a while, but this is a new lens. I absolutely love it because my last lens only went to 70mm, and having that little bit more focal range makes the world of difference when vlogging in a car or something. You want to get a close-up of something. It makes a big difference. I've got the Rode Videomic Pro Plus. This is a really good microphone. The only bad thing though, and I'm not quite sure why Rode designed it like this, it's got this cable that sticks out the back. You can see that, and so when you're trying to use the viewfinder, it's smashing you on the head. With the old Rode Videomic Pro, it didn't have this cable. It was just linked in through the side there, so you could still use the viewfinder quite easily, but with this one you can't so much. So yeah, that's the main shooter there. I really recommend Sony cameras. I've tried other ones. If you're wondering what this is being filmed on, it's a Canon 1DX Mark II, which a friend of mine was extremely kind to give to me, because if you know anything about cameras, this thing is not the cheapest. I don't know if you notice with some of my South America videos, the stabilization that is non-existent in this camera. It's more of a photography camera. So I'll stick with this for video, and that's more of a photography camera. It's good for shots like this where it's set up on a tripod, but as for out in in the field and in the streets of Ethiopia and things, it's quite heavy and kind of a bit of a pain, and sometimes could have the possibility to put you off from getting the shot. Whereas this is like quite light. It makes a big difference. The famous saying is the best camera is the camera that you have with you. Also, this camera is an absolute beast for the price. I'm going to leave all the information linked down below for all the products in the description, guys, if you want to check out the prices of this gear and see if you want to grab some for yourself. Here we have the drone. This is the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. I used to have the Mavic Air, and this is such an upgrade, guys. This thing is an absolute beast. It's so fast. I think it goes like 72 k's an hour or something if I'm right. Flight time's like 29 minutes compared to the Mavic Air, which is like 14, 15 on a good day. It is a bit bigger, but sometimes I think it's worth, even though contradicting what I was saying before, but when something is like that much of an improvement, like the Mavic 2, then it's kind of worth it. So I would highly recommend getting this over the Mavic Air. It's a little bit more expensive, but you spend those few extra $100, you can totally see a huge difference. Like, I don't even know why the price difference is so small between the Mavic Air and this, because this is just a powerhouse of a machine. And it's super quiet as well, because these propellers are a lot quieter than the Mavic Air, which is nice if you're trying to be stealth, like I often am with my drone shots. Tripods. I've got this little guy. This is like a little Manfrotto tripod. This is what I use for just like vlogging in the streets, like that. That's pretty handy. It also like extends the legs and they stand out like that. That's super handy. But I also have the Joby, the famous Joby Gorilla Pod here, and this is super handy. I use this if I want to like attach it to a street sign, because I don't travel with the tripod. I try to keep it as minimalist as possible. If I want to put this around a street sign and talk to someone, film a time lapse or something, a really good way of doing it. Sometimes I do vlog holding like that, but more and more I'm using that little Manfrotto, because it's a lot more handy than this this big beast, and it attracts a lot of attention. Going through airport security, I get the funniest looks, because I swear they see it going through the X-ray machine, because I take this on carry-on, and if you can use your imagination, you can imagine what some people may think this could possibly look like, perhaps.
You've got a sick mind!
Yeah, that gets a lot of attention, but it's a great tool, so it's worth the unwanted attention. I just got this second lens. I haven't really used it much. I haven't used it in any of the videos. This is more of like a photography lens and like a setup tripod lens. This is a prime lens, so it doesn't range in the focal length. So it's a 55mm f1.8 Zeiss Sony, so really high quality lens. You know, you get the really cool blurred background. But I won't be using this in the streets to film, because with my other lens, which is f4, basically if you don't know what these numbers are, I'll give you a really quick description. The lower the number, the more blur you get in the background, right? It's not that simple, but I'm just gonna make it extremely simple. If you don't know, you probably do know, but if you don't, there's a little bit of camera knowledge, which I have not very much of. The main lens that I film with is f4, so that means you can pretty much see everything that's going on behind me. But with this one, it's pretty blurred. So this will be like at the end of the day, if I'm filming, wrapping up a video or shooting an interview, this is really good because you really get just the isolation of somebody's face, or taking photos of locals' faces and things. This is a really good lens for that, and I'm really looking forward to using this in upcoming adventures, which I'll talk about the adventures soon. As for a computer, I use this MacBook Pro, and if you know anything about my history with Apple, it's not really that good, and the fight continues, guys. This is like a 2018 MacBook Pro 15-inch touch bar, and the amount of problems I have had with this computer, I could not count on one hand. If you're looking in for buying a MacBook for editing, or anything for that matter, I would choose the old version of this. For starters, this only has one kind of port, so it's got 4 USB-C ports. I can handle that, right? But I've had so many problems with it, Wi-Fi connectivity issues. It just sometimes turns off by itself. I've tried to talk to Apple about 100 times about it. You know, the amount of times that I've spent on the phone with Apple, it really hurts my soul. If I could go back, I would have bought the older version, but now I have it, and so I'm working through with Apple. I'm fighting. I've lost a lot of battles, but I'm hoping to win the war with Apple. But it does do a good job overall for editing. I use Final Cut Pro. I get a lot of questions of what software I use. I use Final Cut Pro, which is a native Apple software. I know Premiere Pro from Adobe is a lot better, but I've just kind of like used Apple software like my whole YouTube career. I'm used to it. That's one of the reasons I use it, and it's really simple, and I like the simplicity of it, even if it does crash from time to time and I lose a whole vlog and have to re-edit it, but that's another story. And headphones, guys, these are Sennheiser PXC 550s. These headphones are so good. They are a bit pricey, but when you're like editing all the time and you're going on airplanes and you want noise cancelling when babies are crying and things, then these are ideal. And they're Bluetooth as well. Use them for editing. They can plug into the computer. I cannot recommend those headphones enough. Really comfy. You can wear them for hours and your ears don't get sore either. So that's the brunt of my gear, guys. Something I've learned lately is simplicity is key. The less gear you have, the better. You want to have the least, for a travel vlogger at least, as long as it's good quality, compact, small gear, you have a few great tools, that's all you need. I do also have this GoPro 7 here, guys, and I've been using this for chest mounts. That's a really cool way of giving you guys kind of a first person feel if I'm getting onto a plane or something. I feel that adds quite a nice element, so you can feel like you're kind of experiencing it with me on my chest. So the GoPro 7 is amazing. The stabilization on this thing is heroic. I guess that's why they call it the Hero 7. Sorry about that joke. Yeah, guys, that's all the gear. Basically, I've been trying to cut down a lot because I've realized, you know, you can have all the fanciest gear in the world and it's not gonna make you happier, and it's not necessarily gonna make your videos better either. It might make them worse, actually. And that's been a hard lesson to learn, because you always think, oh, I want the best, I need more camera gear. You know, if I was to look back a year ago and see what I have sitting in front of me, I would not believe you. This is like the dream gear. This is incredible, and I'm so lucky to be able to have this gear, and it does such a good job. I'll definitely be sticking with this setup for a long time. I can recommend all this gear, as, you know, it works for me, but you got to find out what works for you. But all you need really, guys, if you want to start vlogging, get one of these, and you can buy muffs for the microphones. This is my recommendation, to buy something like a GoPro and vlog on this, guys, because this can film in really good quality. It's very small, discreet. If you're starting vlogging and you're a little bit unconfident or something about carrying a big camera set up around, I would recommend getting a little thing like this, and you can get like mounts for it and stick it on a little tripod and things, and this thing would be great for starting out. And then slowly build from there and find out what works for you. Capture the story, capture, you know, the people, the most important things. As long as you have reasonably okay gear, you can film on a phone and make a better video than I can on all of this. It just depends on what you have to share and what you have to offer. Moving on. So I want to share with you my plans over the next month or so, but before I do that, I want to say thank you again to basically the main sponsor of this channel at this point, which is Skillshare, and again they're sponsoring this video, and it ties in especially well with this one because this one's about gear and filmmaking and things. So if you're just getting into filmmaking and things and vlogging, you can go into Skillshare. If you don't know what Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 classes ranging from, you know, photography, videoing, vlogging, graphic design, business, basically anything that you can imagine to do with creativity. With it being the new year, it's a good time to kind of, you know, realize your dreams if you want, and becoming a stronger version of yourself is always a good way to realize your dreams. Skillshare and I are offering the usual deal that we offer, which is 2 months of the premium membership for free. So the first 500 people who click the link below get 2 months free of the premium Skillshare membership. And if you devote a little bit of time, you know, every day, every second day, you can take all these different kinds of classes and just, you know, learn so much. And as I said, and I continue to say with Skillshare, become a stronger version of yourself. And that's not something they tell me to say, that's something I've kind of realized myself. To get better at something, all you have to do is take action. I know that sounds simple and you all know that, and you don't want me patronizing you or anything, but it's very important to remember that. So a huge thank you to Skillshare again for sponsoring. I do get many emails most days asking, you know, will you do sponsors and things, and I only pick up a few of them, and especially ones like Skillshare where it's offering you guys, the viewer, something. I don't exactly feel comfortable trying to sell you something that I don't think is going to bring value into your life, but Skillshare definitely does that. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the plans for the next month. I will have a video coming up soon. I'm really excited to share that with you from a country near the Middle East. It's going to be one video, but very in-depth, a quite lengthy video, I think, so stay tuned for that. And then after that, like I mentioned in my last video, there's going to be another brief hiatus between after that video comes out, which is going to be maybe in a week or so, and then I'm going to be heading away shortly after that to a country in the Middle East, again, a secret country, to capture some footage and make some videos that I'm really excited to make. I'm going to be traveling all around this country trying to really capture the feel of the place and put it on show for the world. So those videos will probably start to come out early March because I can't release videos from this country because of internet restrictions. Those videos are going to be coming out early March, guys, so there will be a bit of a break again after the next video, but the next video will be great, so that should keep you going for a while. Yeah, I think that about wraps everything up. If you have any questions, drop them down below and I will be sure to answer them. All the gear I mentioned, like I say, is linked below if you want to check it out and learn more about it. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay warm if you're in the northern hemisphere, because if it's anything like Hungary, it's very cold and snowy here. If you're in the southern hemisphere and you're staying warm, that's great. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being patient with this break. It's been very good and really kind of clearing my mind and getting ready for this year, because it's going to be the biggest year of my channel yet, for sure. I hope you're ready for that, and enough talking. You're probably, I don't know if any of you are watching the video by now, but thank you if you are. Peace.